Because, look, let's face it. We're sitting out here, they're in there, spending our money, controlling our lives, and
I hear them cheering about it too.
yeah, oh, they're thrilled. They're thrilled, absolutely. About a year ago, I was called up to actually, and you'll love this. The State Tobacco Retailers Association called me, non-smoker, kind of a religious Christian guy, to come up to a casino in Indiana and talk to them about how to kill off the tobacco tax that was coming up in the 2009 General Assembly. And I went up there and I told them, because the message that they were putting out at that point was, it's unfair to us. It's unfair to us. Poor little smokers. We're taking out everybody else's shortfalls and frustrations on the poor little smoker. And I went up there and I told them, guys, that message is not going to work. And until you broaden your horizons and look at what's actually happening. What's actually happening is growing government. Yeah. And if they had now I believe if they had adopted that idea and dropped this idea that everybody's being mean to the poor little smokers because they can, because for most non-smokers, we're going to hear that message differently and think, well, yeah, go get them, leave me alone.
Leave us alone!
Yeah, right.
But, well, it's a good point. We have to expand us.
Yeah.
We have to expand the definition of us, or us is always going to be too small. They can come after us with, us. They can come up after us with a Bible tax, say, and wipe us out. And then, everybody who doesn't go to church might say, well, I don't care about that. It doesn't affect me at all. But tobacco taxes, especially the way that they did it this year, affect every single one of us. Smoker, non-smoker, it doesn't matter. Because what they do with those new found revenue sources is they spend that money first. That money's gone. The projected money is gone.
Yeah.
And that, don't even get me started on our $997 million projected shortfall for next year. That's more smoke and mirrors to create that. Senate President David Williams says no, it's not 997 million. It's about 200 million plus about another 250 million that we're going to have to spend anyway. So the point is, the bottom line on that is that it's all smoke and mirrors with regard to projections. We spend our money 2 years in advance and then hope that it comes out okay in the end. And because we continue to expand government so fast, it's never going to come out right. It's the only number that matters in Frankfort right now is $1.5 billion. And that's not a number that you're going to read about in the newspaper or hear on TV for the most part, because that $1.5 billion is the amount of bonding that we authorized in the 2008 budget bill. So we're already set up to go in the tank $1.5 billion, and so that you can call a balanced budget whatever you want to. You can say, hey, we're balanced, we're cool, and we did it. Thumbs up, re-elect us. But if you're doing that and borrowing $1.5 billion at the same time, what have you accomplished? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
We don't want to hear.
I want to conclude with one issue, and I hope that we spend a lot of energy learning about the issues broadly and deeply. If there's a particular issue that you have an interest in or have some knowledge about, I would encourage you to spend time researching that issue and learning more about it. Read what the other side says about it and learn that issue more. But also to go broad and and to hit on gaining knowledge on a wide variety of issues. And as you do that, you'll become better able to talk to the people around you about what we need to do to make government smaller. I want to, we've got some folks coming out here to join us, so I want to finish with one issue that's going to be very, very important and will be a part of the conversation coming out of Washington, D.C. very soon, and that's the idea of expanding government to cover or to take over our healthcare system. Let me make one point on that. Let me make one point on that for maximum impact. I call it socialized medicine. And we can argue about that as much as we want to. But what we ought to do is have some fun arguing with our Congressman Ben Chandler about that. Because Ben Chandler's got a particularly interesting position on this. He's on both sides of it. He's for it and against it. So we both have a bone to pick with Ben Chandler on that, and I hope that you'll give him a hard time about that. And along those lines, I want to point out a gentleman in the audience who was good enough to come up here from Nicholasville to be with us. Matt Lockett is a candidate for Congress. And with that, I want to bring up our next speaker. Our next speaker is someone who's been a friend of mine for now a long time. We now qualify as old friends. He's somebody that when I was doing a radio show down in Richmond, we talked about the radio business, and while I ultimately was not able to really make a go of running my mouth on the radio, though I will put in a plug for the most heavily trafficked conservative political blog in the state, Kentucky Progress, and really if you Google Kentucky Progress, you will get to Kentucky Progress. If you Google Teresa Isaac and Jim Newberry, you'll get to Kentucky Progress. So we're trying to change things out there.